What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 51 of the GKDR show. For all of you who haven't watched us yet, that is Good Kraken's Death Ratio. Today is Tuesday, March 4th. My name is Devin, aka Brevin the Dude, and I am joined here today by my beautiful little cherry blossom, just in time for the start of spring, right around the corner. Garrick Bartholomew
Episode
Eden.
53, nerd.
Well, you know what? It's 53, not 51. Hey, check it out. The doc wasn't updated in our drive, so I just plussed one to the one in the drive, so
That's fair. I probably didn't update it last week.
yeah.
I was like, the schedule says 53, so it's 53. But
You know
anyways,
what? We're a very tight knit, well-oiled machine around here at GKDR, if you can tell.
and it's oiled.
It's oiled by something. How was your day today, man?
Not too bad. Man, I don't know, man. Today was a little weird. Not like super great. Not. It was just a day. It was like just the most day of a day. Like I like literally like the longer I think about it, I'm just like I fucking no input. Like it's just like I kind of existed today. Like I showed up to work. I did the thing. Like I have nothing. I have nothing exciting happened to me today at all.
Yeah,
It
dude.
was just one of those days.
Dun, dun. Just one of those days. Yeah. Dude, I hear you. I had an interview somewhere. Even though I like just got a job, I still entertained some interviews that I had lined up, and I went and did them this morning, and I got a job offered to me like right away, like pretty much like within hours after the interview. So now I'm like
That's
sitting there.
good.
I'm
You're
like,
still taking the other one?
I think so. Just because pay, if that makes sense.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But for the other one, I had to do a exam today, and it was kind of
Like an
grueling.
actual like written, like a paper, like
Not
multiple choice
not an
pass
exam.
exam.
A multiple choice one. Yeah. And I was just sitting there, and I was just like, fuck, this is why I don't want to go back to school. I do not like doing this. I do not like doing this. But it was a certification
Yeah,
exam.
tests suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, certification exams suck.
I stressed over it, but I got 100%, so it's all good. But I was just like sitting there for like probably about 2 hours. And I was like, "Oh, this sucks." And then I think I got that like that like you should know this actually very well, that after school like sickness where you're just like stressed if you did good enough on something, you know.
Oh yeah, we're just
Y-
like, cool. I'm not gonna feel good about this until after I
y-
know how I did.
yeah, that's pretty much how it was. And yeah, I just didn't feel good for the rest of the day, so I went to sleep at like 4 o'clock and didn't wake up till 7:15. Everybody.
Yeah, I'm just now saying I have a missed call from you because my phone is like generally on silent.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, whoops. But here we are. It's GK Death Ratio. We're here in your ear holes, and we're not talking about sleeping today because we're talking about tariffs.
I'm tired, though.
Say more layoffs per usual, hunting wild monsters, and much, much more. Because this is Good Kraken's Death Ratio, and we're slashing through the podcast space to be your source for all the nerdy video game news, reviews, and discussions that you want to hear live each and every Tuesday at 7 p.m. kindish Pacific time.
Kindish.
If you want to get ahead of the curve, you can head on over to our Discord channel
Kindish.
where you can submit questions and topics to the show, get exclusive content, and have early access to episodes before they go live on podcast and video services wherever you like to watch or listen. But if you spend all your credits at another shop, that is totally fine. You can watch us record the show live right here at twitch.tv/Good Kraken Show. If you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime, and we would love for you to help us out and level up our game.
Please, God, help us out.
Please.
We're struggling
Kindish.
mentally, not financially.
Just kindish.
We're just
you
kind.
can
Yeah, we're
also
just
support
kindish.
us by going to our YouTube channel, clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Death Ratio and leaving a kindish review there.
Dude, having ADHD is forgetting you had an open box of Sour Patch Kids, so you opened another box of Sour Patch Kids. They're both like, one's like 3/4 of the way empty, and one's like half empty, and I just need to finish them.
You should combine the two, and then you have a full one.
Yeah, marry the bottles like
Yeah.
it's a ketchup.
Exactly. Garrick.
Hmm.
We are gonna move ahead because we got some critical hits. Yeah, critical hits. Guys, goodkraken.com. It's a thing. It's got merchandise. If you don't want to give Twitch money, you can give us your money by buying stuff through there. Like, do it. Buy the merchandise, buy the hoodie, buy the hats, buy the shirts. Get yourself some things.
Yeah.
Get yourself a Carl the
I love
Kraken mug.
my pink splash damage hoodie.
Yeah, I love my GKDR hat, but it's upstairs. I'm repping a virus hat. You fucking try hard.
Mine's in the dirty pile right now.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, go to goodkraken.com. It's spelled exactly how you're hearing it. That's GOODKRAKEN.com.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, get yourself something. Also, there's going to be links to all of our videos and audio versions of the shows that we conduct just over there on goodkraken.com. So it's a good place to be. Favorite that thing. Put a nice little star. Have that in your bookmark bar.
Put that
You know what I'm saying?
Bad boy on the bookmark bar. That's what I was gonna say.
Exactly.
Just right there. You always look at it. You're like,
Exactly.
oh, is there a new episode of GK? I don't know. I'm gonna click this link and it'll tell me immediately.
Exactly. Guys, last week's episode of 20,000 Films is available now. That's right. The big Star Wars problems, where you can watch DJ, arguably not that big of a Star Wars fan, and Ernell, a pretty big Star Wars fan, talk about the Star Wars problem. That's right. They have a problem and they talked about it. I haven't watched it yet. Have you?
No, I haven't.
Neither
But
have
I think, I feel like that's gonna be an interesting watch for both of us, because I feel like we're both bigger Star Wars fans than either of those two.
I know. Which is,
I mean, come on, like,
Yeah.
come on, like, come on.
I mean,
like,
I got
literally
Ahsoka
whole wall
and, like, Darth
tapestry.
Vader. Like you know how big of the Star Wars I am.
Yeah, huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
I got
Oh,
my
hey,
other,
listeners
like,
and
I have my big
watchers.
art up there.
We're gonna go through this episode because I realize we also have Daredevil Born Again to freaking watch today.
Yeah. Yeah, Sandra was just like, you gonna watch tonight? I was like, yeah, I sure am.
Yeah. We might even just watch it together, huh, Garrick?
We'll see about that. Dude, we'll see about that.
Because I'm gonna watch it right after this episode.
Oh no, I'm not. I do not plan on watching it right after the episode. I have some things to take care of.
Oh. Yeah, so that's a critical hit for you guys. Another critical hit is the newest episode of the Shipwreck Show is now available as well. And that is going to be episode 157. Guys, they're just going to be talking about technology is so sick. Isn't that right? Isn't that what you guys talked about?
What? Who? What? Oh, yesterday?
Yeah.
Yesterday was a weird one. We just kind of talked about, we talked about like technology and like how technological innovations are just kind of cool, but also how at the same time, why the fuck doesn't the shit just work?
Fuck, right? I feel like things are always resetting on their own, especially computers. I love computers. I'm not going to say anything bad about computers, but sometimes computers to the moon. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah, check that episode out. It was actually a very good conversation. It just wasn't like, it was just, I don't know. I thought it was a good conversation. Like, we just talked about technology and how it's awesome, yet simultaneously stupid and whack.
Yeah. Like, look at what we're doing right now. That's technology. Boom.
Yeah. We even brought that up.
Yeah. um, guys, episode 6 of Songs from the Abyss is available now. Go check it out. We had another very interesting episode.
Songs from the Abyssy.
Yeah, there was actually some developing um the show developed with some new twists and turns, and our party
I thought it
kind of
was a good episode.
has a direction of what we're gonna do now as a
Yeah,
party.
I felt like we started the train's on the tracks now, and
Yeah,
I like it.
yep, it's a party. You know what I'm saying? We've done like what, 3 combats now? We've done 3 combats. 2 of them were like kind of back to back.
Oh yeah. 2 of them were back to back, but they were separate initiatives. There was a small break in between. Yeah, so we've
Yeah.
had 3 combat encounters total.
Yeah, 3 combat
Of
encounters
varying
total.
degrees of oh fuck.
Yep.
It's been good stuff.
Yeah,
It's been good stuff.
Xander fucked around and found
Apparently-
out.
Yeah. Apparently some of the dudes pointed out that I had not. I wholeheartedly, and I mean this honestly, I wholeheartedly had not planned my character this way intentionally. It's working out this way. But you like your guys' Reacher comment, like after the fact, I was like, oh yeah, huh. But I didn't do that. Like that wasn't planned. Like it just kind of worked out that way.
Yours is like the stoic Reacher, like I'm gonna fuck shit up, like big brawny
Yeah.
guy.
Man on a mission guy.
Yeah, but like because Sam and I were talking about this, mine is like the analyzing, looking at
The
everything
details
version.
matter.
Yeah, the details matter.
Details matter in an investigation.
Yep. Because like while you guys are doing your own thing, my character like goes off and like looks into everything, still.
Yep.
So yeah. But yeah, go check that out. And I do want to remind you guys that we are not having an episode of Songs from the
Sadly.
Abyss this weekend. And the
Sadly.
campaign will be resuming March 15th. So for all you early accessors, you'll get a new episode the afternoon of March 15th. And for all y'all who do not have early access, that episode will be available to you on the 17th. So, but yeah, we will be resuming in just about a week and a half. So no worries there, guys. The show is still happening.
It's gonna be right back to normal.
And if you haven't
Arnell's
watched
just
all of
busy. Daddy, mommy can't be there, so you got
Yeah.
6 episodes to catch up on.
yeah, him and his little metalcore babies are gonna go play a little metalcore show down in Las Vegas. I forgot the name of the fest, but yeah, that's what they're doing.
Me too. Which is funny because I remember like explicitly asking for the name of it.
Yeah, and you know what? He's like, dude, same to be honest. But if you want more information and you happen to be in the Las Vegas area or close by, go check out Drift Away on all their socials, and you can get that information there. I was. I'll have to tell you after. Hey, Garrick.
Hmm.
You know what's in my sight?
What?
The lines, because we are going into our line of sight. Oh, that's such a good segue. Guys, we have some upcoming game releases. We are going to be going over the game releases for March 4th through 11th. And that's right. So, starting today on the 4th, we actually had a few games come out. On PC, we had Grimoire Groves. That came out on PC. Also today on PS5, Xbox Series XS, and PC, we had 2 Point Museum. Sounds like a little click adventure museum type of thing.
Shit. It's like 2 Points like a franchise. I actually don't recall what formatting of game they generally tend to use though.
Mhm.
But I think they're like sim games of some sort.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
management games.
Well,
or
that
some
came out today.
combination of the two. Yeah.
Also, another
Which one is it? 2 Point what?
museum.
I am just curious. 2 Point
Another game
Museum.
that came out today is War Robots Frontier. And that came out on
Curate
PS5.
and manage incredible museums. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Another game that came out today is War Robots Frontiers. So that's going to be on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series XS, and PC. Then tomorrow on March 5th, we have Wizardom on PC. Just Wizardom. That's all it's called.
Wizarddom.
Yeah, GameSpot has no news.
Wizard sleeve.
Yeah, wizards and stuff, you know.
Oh
Then on March 6th, we have Eldrador Creatures Shadowfall. That's on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series XS, Switch, and PC. And then we have the upcoming game Fragpunk, which also comes out on March 6th on PS5, Xbox Series XS, and PC. And then the big hitter this week, if you were to ask me, that's going to be Split Fiction. That's on PS5, Xbox Series XS, and
yeah.
PC. That's getting reviewed very well, but we already knew that that was going to happen. Then
I'm
we
excited for that
have
one.
Sudoku 1 and 2 HD Remaster Gate Rune and Dunan Unification Wars. That's a lot. That's coming out on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC March 6th as well. And then we have early access to WWE 2K25 on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One, and PC on March 7th. And then on March 10th, we have Beyond the Ice Palace 2. That's coming on PC, and then a day later on all consoles. And yeah, that is going to be the releases for this week. We'll come back at you on the next episode of GKDR with more releases, resuming on the 11th of March.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Lots more games coming out this week compared to last.
Yep. All right. We're going to move forward here. And Garrick, can you tell us what we got next?
Yeah, I sure can. We're gonna be taking a little bit of a minute. It's gonna get a little meta, but not meta like that, but like that fucking thing. Cause fuck those guys. But no, we're heading into our meta minute. This is our news segment, guys, and we have some news stories that we are going to be talking about for you today. I am taking our first article, and it is new tariffs may lead publishers to abandon physical games, says Analyst. This is coming from Blair Marnell at GameSpot, and my name is Garrick. When Donald Trump was running for re-election in 2024, he constantly spoke about his desire to add tariffs or import taxes on America's trading partners and rivals. Now, President Trump has gone through with that threat by imposing 25% tariffs on goods imported from Canada and Mexico, as well as an additional 10% tariffs on goods from China. These Chinese tariffs are on top of the 10% tariff that Trump ordered on the country last month. Taken together, this new round of tariffs may spell trouble for physical video games, according to an industry analyst. Circana's Matt Piscatella has shared his belief that video games would be subject to these tariffs may not be made. Instead, publishers are likely to lean even harder on digital sales. Piscatella has previously written about the potential impact of these tariffs, while noting that manufacturing game discs in America isn't a viable option since physical sales have been declining for years.
Yeah, and
During Trump's first...
on that, it was the physical video games in general would be subject to these tariffs, not the digital games. Earlier, it says the physical video games would be subject to these tariffs, not digital versions of the games.
Oh, did I say digital?
No, you just skipped physical.
Oh,
it's all good.
Trump's first term in office, the video game industry successfully lobbied his administration to exclude them from tariffs has placed on Chinese goods. There was no carve out in Trump's newest round of tariffs. The Entertainment Software Association, ESA, issued a public statement earlier this month warning that these tariffs may have a devastating effect on all video game sales. Because the cost of tariffs are almost always passed on to customers, it's the American consumer who will bear the brunt of these expenses. Piscatella has also indicated that the price of games, both physical and digital, may rise in response to Trump's tariffs. There's also fear that the tariffs could trigger an economic downturn or even a recession, which would further hurt players' ability to afford games.
Yeah, yeah. You know, we all, if anybody's been watching or listening to us for a while, everybody kind of knows where we all align with our thoughts and political beliefs. So we don't have to dive into that here too much right now. But with the decline in physical game sales, I think we're, you know, you're gonna see even more reason for companies to not put disk drives on their new consoles that are coming out. I think it's very possible that we have the new Switch coming out this year, right? That's going to have physical games. I don't. I wouldn't be surprised if you see some of those physicals more than $70 now.
Yeah, and a $70 price point for AAA games is already a big problem for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be shocked if games start to become like $80 or more. Like I'm going to like I would heavily consider like not spending as much on games as I normally do.
Mm-hmm.
And I would honestly, I like it's why I already look to playing more indie games than I do AAA titles or lean on Game Pass
Mm-hmm.
because I don't because a lot of the time, uh, most games these days don't feel worth a $70 base price point. Like just period. Like I feel like in the industry as a whole is in is experiencing like a drought of quality and has been for a good long time. We have some amazing shining gems that stand out, but I think the industry as a whole is not in a great place, and so it's going to be really easy to justify the additional like cutting of physical discs in turn for like trying to push digital sales while also raising prices because people are going to be buying less games generally speaking. Um, Now it is a little weird here, because like generally speaking, if when like things like recession or like economic downturns happen, necessities tend to go up and hobby items tend to go down.
Mm.
In terms of price, I don't really know how that happens when the hobbies in questions are being overly taxed. So you're not even going to get to like experience that benefit if that's the case.
Yeah.
And honestly, um, if you're a video game player, you should be worried about like what this is going to do to the industry. Like, uh, I know like we're talking about sales here, but like all of this stuff trickles down into other aspects of development and publication of video games, and you're going to feel it one way or another. And I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say this because I can't not fucking say this. If you are one of the thumb sucking, smooth brained troglodyte piss babies that voted for this fucking cunt, you're literally part of the problem. And I hope this personally affects you. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you.
Yeah, I back that up. So, um, but yeah, like you're gonna see if video game sales get affected this way, you're gonna see this also trickle into your hardware. You're gonna see this trickle into your consoles. You're gonna see this trickle into your
Yeah,
computer parts.
your fucking GPUs are about to get spendy.
Yeah, you're gonna see this trickle into your phone. It's even. You think phones are expensive right now? Just wait. Just wait. Everything is manufactured offshore, and it's not that easy to just break ground and get a new manufacturing plant built in on U.S. soil, especially with the cost of land and the cost of living here. And there's a lot of countries that we import all of our metals and materials and wafer chips and stuff like that to make all of these kinds of things. And if Trump is putting a tax and tariff on all of that, then you can kiss a lot of those manufacturing plants goodbye. Because I'll tell you what,
Yeah,
we actually get a lot of our
we get so
resources.
much fucking shit from Canada.
Yeah, yeah. And
So much.
I already read an article today about how Canada's liquor control and everything, they have ceased purchasing of all alcoholic products from the U.S. and have announced that none of it will
Eh,
be restocked, which is going to
your
be
hobbies are at risk, folks. Your
a
everything is at risk, folks.
yep. It's starting here, and that's a $1 billion deficit to that industry already. So
Yeah.
yeah, just within this week. So and that deficit can climb. So there you go. But yeah, we'll move on to more exciting grave news as it would be. And
Yay.
with our next story, PlayStation hit with more layoffs following recent game cancellations. This is coming from Ethan Gotch over at Kotaku. The PlayStation owned studio Visual Arts was hit with fresh layoffs this week amid the further restructuring of Sony's US game development operations. While some of the cuts included staff who had contributed to the recently canceled projects like an upcoming livestream service game at Bend Studio, a source told Kotaku that the layoffs were more widespread than that. Earlier this week, an unknown number of staff at the Visual Arts Group, based out of San Diego, were informed that their last day at Sony would be March 7th. The team provides internal art and technical support to first party PlayStation studios and worked closely with Naughty Dog on the recent Last of Us Part 1 and 2 remasters, among other projects. Sony did not immediately respond to a request for comment to Kotaku. But, in quote here, it was tough waking up to the messages that many friends and former coworkers from uh, PlayStation Visual Arts were laid off this morning. Former PSVA project manager Abby Lamaster, now at Riot Games, posted on LinkedIn on Monday. Quote, the layoffs today hit hard. PSVA let go of developers with decades of subject matter expertise, talent that will be extraordinarily difficult to recoup. This industry can be unpredictable, but the skill, experience, and passion of the people I worked with at PSVA are undeniable. End quote. The layoffs come after an expensive failure in last year's Concord, new rounds of live service project cancellations, including a reported God of War spinoff at Bluepoint Games, and a reorganization within the top echelons of Sony leadership. In January, Hiroki Totoki, became the company's new CEO, and Hideaki Nishino became the sole CEO of PlayStation, with Herman Holst, who had previously been co-CEO, reporting him as the ongoing head of PlayStation Studios. The latest cuts at the PlayStation Studios Visual Arts Group follow an emerging trend of game companies pulling back development resources from expensive US-based offices. Remember what I was talking about earlier about expensive warehouses and land space here. Last year, during a business briefing, Hull said there had been, quote, pressure on the coast side, as Sony had laid off hundreds amid spiraling first-party blockbuster game development budgets. Quote, for every title, we have a really rigorous review process where we focus on the sustainability of our investments in these titles, he said at the time. We include areas such as looking at what could be outsourced, for example, to avoid too high peak resource on development teams because costs can be sticky. We're looking at co-development options in areas where the cost per resource is maybe somewhat lower than the average or on the American West Coast.
We're cutting corners to save money and deliver you a poorer product because we don't want to afford good development and talent because it's costing us too much money. Fuck you, gamers. That's what I just heard.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, this is, I feel like every month we get a new story of Sony doing layoffs lately. I think it's kind of become the norm, unfortunately.
Yeah, Sony, Microsoft, fucking Warner Brothers, dude, everybody has their head so fucking far up their ass in this industry right now that it's like it's really hard to find somebody to support positively
Mhm.
and not feel like a piece of shit. Because like honestly, there's so many aspects of this industry that literally it's just like watching a fucking dumpster burn. It really, really is. It's rough because I don't even feel like you could honestly vote with your wallet appropriately in this industry just because of the
Mhm.
way that it functions. Uh, it's because the people that because the wrong people are paying the price for you not buying the game. Like that's the fucking issue. Like the executives and the stakeholders, like all those motherfuckers are still getting theirs, right?
Mhm.
Like they get their payout first. It's those
Mhm.
motherfuckers that need the longevity and like need a job to continue to survive that are ultimately paying the price. And like I know some of you motherfuckers are gonna be like, but the developers get paid. Yeah, I understand they get paid. Did they get fucking paid during the development cycle? But after that fucking game has finished, that game's success is up to whether or not they get another fucking contract or another IP to work on. And like when they're being asked by stakeholders that know fuck all nothing about video games to produce some live service shit pile and think it's going to make money hand over fucking fist because it's just got some stupid popular IP slapped over the fucking cross of it is ridiculous, which is why we have this insanely massive ever growing fucking graveyard of goddamn live service games, and half of them are Sony's.
Yep. And I was listening to DLC earlier today. That's downloadable content with Jeff Kanata and Christian Spicer. And they were talking about layoffs here recently, and especially with the Warner Brothers stuff that's been going on over the last week.
Mm-hmm.
The one of the really big like disappointing things, and I'm gonna credit them to this conversation here. When a game is canceled, those developers though cannot even use that on their resume for like other
No,
jobs.
it's an unfinished product.
Yep, because a lot of
That'd be like
times,
you putting on your resume, I had a really cool idea one time and I told somebody about it.
but like for instance, at Monolith, right? They were working on that Wonder Woman game that got canceled for 4 years. 4 years of their
Yeah,
life.
dude.
That's as long
Just
as we've been
work
doing
down the
this podcast.
fucking drain.
That's
Down the
longer.
drain.
That's longer than we've been doing this podcast. They've been working on that game longer than this has been around. And a lot of times when you're going to a new studio, um, places like, like for really like, let's say Naughty Dog's hiring, right? When one of their requirements is, you know, shipped 3 AAA games. Imagine working on something for four
That's an
years
industry. Yeah,
and that,
imagine that being like an industry standard. Like you
yep.
have to have like this many like right. It's like and that's considered fucking entry level experience for some of these fucking bigger
Mm,
like development studios. Like that's ground fucking level. Is you have had to have had to
mm,
touch
yeah.
three AAA games. There are developers that go their whole fucking career without ever touching a AAA game.
Yep. And like just to put this in perspective too, so like let's see, Fable, right? That got delayed recently. That game has been announced for approximately 6 years. And Wonder Woman's been getting worked on for about 4 years. So let's just say roughly it would have taken about 5 to 6 years for that game to come out if it was ran to
Mm-hmm.
completion. Games are a lot harder to make nowadays just due to the technological leaps that the industry has made, and the costs of everything because of those technological leaps and the expectations of all the players. Um,
Yeah.
it's not like how things used to be, where like back in the day, in 6 years, I'm gonna name a few, just a few things like of titles that come out within a 6 year window. You had Gears of War, Gears of War 2, Gears of War 3. Those all came out within 6 years. You had Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3. Those all came out within 6 years of each other. You know what I mean? And those are very well like credited games. Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. Those all came out within 6 years of each other. You know, Like
Yeah,
these aren't just in your average rushed game where they just look okay. Those are all big budget AAA games too. So imagine working on a game for over 4 years that back in the day you could have released two titles within that time frame, and then now you can't put that on your resume.
dude. And like, I don't think you guys fucking understand how much money these are openly just flushing down the fucking drain when they cancel these projects. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just to put it into perspective, God of War Ragnarok reportedly cost $200 million.
Mm-hmm.
That is more than most fucking films. Most films. Like that's like we're talking event. That's like an Avengers level fucking budget, guys. That's a Disney level budget. That's an astronomical amount of money for one fucking game, right?
Yeah.
Most of these games are costing around that much. That's like average is around $100 million for these AAA
Minimal.
games. There's a reason they don't openly talk about the prices of the development process of these games like they do with films, because you guys would fucking shit if they were charging what they wanted to be charging you guys for these fucking games based off of how much they cost. Yet it is still, in from a business standpoint, it is still worth it for them to literally flush down the drain $100 million worth of work potentially, right?
Yeah.
Just for the sake of fucking trying to break even, because they don't think they'll turn a profit after they physically printed the fucking product out. Like, that fucking tells you something about how dog shit these fucking ideas are, and how poorly these fucking stakeholders and these executives are guiding these development, these like publishers and these developers into making horrible fucking business decisions again and again and again for the sake of their fucking bottom dollar. And honestly, Sony has really proven that they're one of the worst fucking culprits at this, right?
Yeah.
Because they thought they had workshopped like a fucking $1 billion idea with Concord, and it shit the bed instantly.
Yeah.
Instantly was a fucking failure. The game was up for like what, 2 weeks?
Yeah. I just did some math. $200 million for production cost and promotional content, right? For God of War Ragnarok.
And
I
you're
didn't
not paying fucking like 100. You're not paying like dozens of millions to
No.
actors.
Um they did, however, as of 2023 of November. This is before the PC port. This is about a year before the PC port came out.
Mm-hmm.
They sold 15 million units, which amounts to over $1 billion in sales.
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh,
man. Like, that's considered being in the black in the video game industry.
yeah.
You have to be making money hand
But
over fist on your product.
they did make 5 times the amount of production costs, of reported production costs on that one. So it's not like where movies, like in the movie industry, if they break even, that is considered success, right? That is considered success with box office.
Yeah,
If they break
breaking
even,
even is not success here. Like, you have
yeah,
to make a profit. Like,
yeah,
an IP has to be able to turn a profit. And
hmm
honestly, everybody is so fucking afraid of producing a quality single player product that they just instantly look towards live service because they can monetize it unfucking fairly. That's what it
hmm
comes down to. Is live service games are designed by nature to be monetized,
I don't play
right?
them anymore.
And
I don't.
no, dude, I don't really engage in that shit either. I have one live service game that I regularly revisit, and it's a fucking mobile game. And the only reason I revisit that as often as I do is because I have access to it on my phone. If it was on my console or anywhere else, it would never get fucking played.
What game is that?
It's Snap.
Oh, yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah. I haven't played Snap in like 6 months.
Yeah, you play Magic now, so like that's fine. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's just it's the industry is is in an embarrassing state, and like these articles are just so disguised, and like these statements are just so disguised to tell players that hey, we really don't actually give a single flying fuck about you at all. And like this always and will always come down to the bottom dollar of our product. And if it turns out that it's a quality product incidentally, great. But if we just shovelware you some shit and you buy that too, we're cool with it. As long as you buy it at the end of the day. They don't fucking give a shit what the product is as long as it makes them money. That's where
Yeah.
the industry's at. That's where the fucking industry's at.
Yeah.
Wokeness, quote unquote, is not the fucking problem. Greedy bastards are.
Yeah. I think we're entering an era where like a lot of developers are taking hits a lot from the cancellations and stuff like that, and poor sales, that we're starting to get away from live service as a focus.
Yeah, I'm so glad that that's happening. That like it has started to fail to the point that we're looking at other things because
Mhm.
I'm sick of it. It was a disgusting fad that this industry like jumped on.
You know whose fault it is?
Fortnite.
100%. 100% it's Fortnite's fault. 100%. I miss Knockout City, man.
Dude, I miss so many fucking games that could have been
I
better than
miss
what they
Knockout
were.
City. That game was really
Fuck.
fun. That game was really fun. But I think we'll move on from this from now, because next month we'll probably have another story about layoffs.
Oh, I'm sure.
Um,
Never ending.
Ernell, shut the fuck up. You see what he said?
No, I don't. Dude, I don't even have Google tabs open because my
He goes,
computer's ass.
the guys from Good Kraken said that Fortnite is the greatest game of all time.
No, that guy from Good Kraken said that Fortnite is the
Yeah,
greatest game of all time.
yeah,
There's a reason he doesn't show up on the video game podcast anymore. His opinions were shit.
yeah. I mean, we I don't know why we have him on the fucking movie podcast. He hates terrible movies. He loves terrible movies too. So anyways, we're gonna talk about. He's like bros. Sucks to suck, huh? Um, I hope your AC is broken when you get to Vegas.
Damn.
Love you. Um, Speaking of bad things, we're going to talk about something actually good here, because we are going to go into our live service Endgame moment. And you know what? With
Hey,
our
I'm in the
Endgame,
game.
yeah, he is in the Endgame right now. Because today we are doing a Monster Hunter Wilds review, specifically Garrett, because I haven't played the game yet. I'm still playing Avowed, and I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And I gotta tell you about this one game I started playing recently. It's called Repo. Been playing with Larry and some friends.
Oh yeah, I think I saw a trailer for that.
Yeah, um, dude, it is really fun. It is like
It's like a squad game, right?
if you took Lethal Company and God, what's the other game that everybody was playing for a while? Content
Dude,
Warning. If you take
yeah,
Lethal
we played a
Company
few
and
different
Content
ones.
Warning and you put them together, it is that game. It is that game.
Interesting.
It is very fun. It is very fun. Probably gonna play some of that tonight too. But I just had to make a comment on that because I just remembered it. But anyways, back to Monster Hunter Wilds. That's right. Garrick is going to be reviewing that game today. And Garrick, this game came out from Capcom.
Yep, sure did.
Previous titles made by Capcom were the Street Fighter franchise, the Resident Evil franchise, and they also made Dragon's Dogma 1 and 2, which are two games that I hold very dear to my heart, and so many, many more. Dino Crisis, stuff like that. It's
Literally all the other Monster Hunter games.
yeah, all the other Monster Hunter games. There's lots of those. Guys, this game came out February 28th 2025 on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S, to be very specific. February 27th on Steam. If you look it up on Steam, it says it was released on the 27th. And the synopsis of this game is: the unbridled force of nature runs wild and relentless, with environments transforming drastically from one moment to the next. This is a story of monsters and humans and their struggles to live in harmony in a world of duality. So yeah, Garrick, tell the people about Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yes, yes. The eighth generation of Monster Hunter is upon
Monster
us.
Hunter, the eighth
Monster
gen
Hunter.
Monster
Uh,
Hunter.
yeah. The eighth generation of Monster Hunter is upon us, dude, and it's been an incredibly fucking amazing time. From pretty much start to finish. Wow. Where to even begin with this game? So like I said, we came out on the 28th. I've got 40 hours in the game right now. I am just shy of Hunter rank 40, I think, or I can't quite remember. And I have rolled credits on it. I'm in the post game and doing the post game chapters and doing all those hunts and the plethora of side missions available. And it's honestly, I can't ask for basically anything more out of a Monster Hunter game than what this gives as far as its core package is concerned. Um, Easily the most beautiful any Monster Hunter game has ever been. The environments are absolutely stellar. The monster designs are all updated and fantastic. Everybody looks crisp and like real and weighty. All of the weapons got beautiful and fantastic updates, and they have their own incredible and unique identities from start to finish. And every single aspect of this game has felt deep and refreshing and really, really, honestly, just an amazing time as a Monster Hunter veteran and just an enjoyer of the franchise over the last 15 years. This is the best story, the most interesting story we've ever gotten in a Monster Hunter game by far and away. Was actually usually I'm like skipping through cutscenes and like dialogue and shit with Monster Hunter games. I don't generally care about the story of Monster Hunter. It's not at all why I play those games. But this was actually very, very good here. Now, if you go into it expecting like a really super incredible like single player campaign, a la like The Last of Us, or something very, very story driven, you will be disappointed. Like, I am saying that this is the best Monster Hunter campaign ever. But I also the best comparison is this is the best Monster Hunter campaign in the same way that Diablo 4's campaign is the best campaign in Diablo, right? Like, the stories are good, the lore is great, but that's not like the whole real reason you're there. So this just being a really great story and campaign for the franchise is just a bonus. But ultimately it functions as the game's tutorial. Like, there's 6 chapters in the game. You finish you roll credits at chapter 3, man, and then you've got 3 post-game chapters to go through. That's not including any of the side quests, of which there are a plethora. I believe there's like 29 monsters available at launch, with more to come with our first spring update. There are 18 new monsters and 11 returning from previous titles. That's very common for the Monster Hunter games. It's never all just new monsters. They return flagship monsters from previous games, fan favorites. There are a few that are in every single Monster Hunter game, no matter what, like Rathalos and Rathian. They're in every single Monster Hunter game, and dude, it's just been goddamn. It's just been it's been freeing. It's been a freeing experience to be able to play Monster Hunter on such a seamless level. Traditionally, you load into your hub, you pick your quest, you load into another screen. This does happen in like the base flow, like when you are hunting with groups, right? Like your homie will post a quest, you grab the quest, you ready up, and then you guys, you get teleported out to wherever the fuck. But if you're playing solo or if you're doing field investigations, from biome to biome, the map is seamless. You can walk in and out of the camp at will, go hunt whatever the fuck, open the map, place a waypoint, literally open the map, hit start quest over a monster, and just go. Like there's no, without you, you're skipping all the other menus, and you literally just start the quest. You get on your secret, which is this really awesome mount that you get in this game that is like a lizard bird, like chocobo thing, and that's what you use to get around in the game. And honestly, good luck ever, like, fucking good luck replacing those motherfuckers, Capcom. Like, they're gonna have to be like a franchise staple after this because I don't know if I can go back. And then you just go out and you hunt. And like, of course, like it still has all of the core loop and all of the mechanics that you would expect from a Monster Hunter game, right? Kill, carve, craft, repeat. But it's all so much more seamless and way more like trying to get you out on the hunts as fast as they can this time. You can stay in the field if you're doing a field investigation, right? So like say you go to the windswept plains, which is the first initial map, it's your desert map you go to, and you're at your camp, Devin, right? You want to go hunt a leviathan that roams the sand dunes around the windswept plains. His name is Balahara. You open up your map, you see if there's any Balahara in the area. Chances are pretty good. They're fairly common monster in that area. So you find them, you find their icon on the map, you click on them, you literally hit begin quest. Boom! It posts the quest immediately. Now you're in the quest. No load screens. You're just there, right? You make sure you've got your food buffs and all that good stuff, right? And you eat your meal, and then you literally just hit up on the D-pad or whatever it would be for PC. Lord love you if you're fucking playing this shit on mouse and keyboard. You're braver than I. And you literally, and your secret automatically starts auto-pathing to the monster. Hands free.
That's actually insane. You know, it's funny that you make that comment about mouse and keyboard because I recently found out I have two friends who play Elden Ring on mouse and keyboard.
Nah, that's diabolical behavior. Like,
And
you're kind of crazy.
And they've beaten the game. They're like they've done everything and they play mouse and keyboard.
I'm sure there are people that play mouse and keyboard on Monster Hunter. I'm sure there are.
When
I just know I think you're a little off.
Yeah, no, they definitely are. I mean, they're fine humans. Don't get me wrong; they're great. They're a little off. They're successful, but like they're also masochists, and I don't know why they do that to themselves.
Yeah, and so man, it's just like there's so many quality of life features. Like, oh fuck, you forgot to eat your canteen meal, like which they don't have in this game. There's some small things. We'll get to this. We'll get that. There's just so many quality of life things. Like you forget to eat your meal, you're like, fuck. You literally just whip out your portable grill instead of having to go back and end the quest.
Portable grill.
Yeah, you grill up your shit literally on the spot, dude. Eat your meal, get your food buff, go on the way. You can go back to any pop-up camps, which are like little fast travel points you can set up throughout the map, which I really like because the monsters can find and destroy your camps if they see them out in the open.
Really?
So like there's some yeah. And then you can so there's a lot of really small and immersive details in this game. Your camps can be destroyed. Monsters live and interact with the ecosystem like all on their own. Like monsters will fight each other. They'll have territorial disputes. Like predators will physically prey on like the herbivores in the fields and like fucking eat them and shit, dude. It's crazy. And then, oh man, the weather system or the season system as it is in Monster Hunter Wilds is incredible. There are 5 distinct biomes available to you in Monster Hunter Wilds. No spoilers on what those may be if you want to discover those. But they're all distinct and have really, really awesome aesthetics. You've got of course, you have your jungle and like your desert, which show up in just about every Monster Hunter game. But there are some unique biomes very specific to this game's campaign and setting and story. So I won't spoil those for you because as a Monster Hunter like veteran and like lover of the game, I was just like, oh fucking shit, this is where we are. That's crazy. I didn't think like they would ever do something like this as far as like getting lore involved. But they did, and they chose to step up the immersion in a lot of ways. You now have like a guild liaison that follows you around at all time to like give you authorization to hunt monsters, so you're not a fucking posting piece of shit. Down to the point that if you try to just hunt a monster in the wild that you can't create a quest for because you haven't progressed far enough for it, they'll be like, well, you can kill it, but just a heads up, you do not have fucking authorization to hunt this monster. And like it's like it doesn't stop you, but like there's that little bit of lore that like, hey, you're breaking the rules. And I appreciate those sorts of little things when I'm playing the game.
Yeah.
The season system has 3 different seasons in every biome. And there is the season of fallow, which is where which is basically it's like a downturned season where like there's not as many animals or monsters or vegetation and endemic life. It's things are out of season, if you will. And then there's the period of inclemency, which is basically a massive weather event. The weather events range wildly depending on where you are in the biome. The forest has a massive rainstorm. That fucking shit floods. It's like literally flooded rivers and forests. It looks wild. In the desert, there's a sandstorm that's got crazy lightning strikes all over the place, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, after this period of inclemency passes, there is the period of plenty, where like everything in that biome is more lush. The colors are physically brighter. You see more endemic life. You see more you see more herds and packs of predatory animals. Rare animals or monsters will spawn. There are special monsters that only spawn during the periods of intense weather. And so it's all very ebb and flow, and the game wants you to engage in those seasons. There is a mechanic where you can like pay guild points to like adjust the weather to be able to hunt the things that you need, but it's a pretty hefty price compared to some other guild point expenditures in the game. So they really want you to engage in the seasonal mechanic and the ebb and the flow of the game. And it's so immersive, and it lends itself to the natural cycle of the hunts in this game really, really well. Now, with that being said, it's not 100% perfect. There are some small quality of life things that I, as a Monster Hunter lover, am really sad that this game just chose to omit. Now, they are correcting some of these things out of the gate with the first title update, but the title update's not here, so I'm reviewing it as it is now. One of the big things is like we're missing the food canteen, so you can't sit down in the camps and cook a meal with like the big Palico chef. It's a small thing, but it's something that's very core to the franchise and has been present for a very long time. I really, really want to see the canteen return in some capacity. I love the portable grill. I love the quality of life of being able to cook my shit on the go, but let me cook that big extravagant meal with the Palico, with the cutscene, just like in Rise, just like in World, just like in all of the other games, like I expect. Not having the gathering hub for all of your multiplayer needs is a little bit of a miss. I understand why it's not a necessity in this one. You can join the lobby, and then literally, as long as you guys are standing in the same fucking camp, you can see each other. Now, the players still expect the gathering hub. It's the multiplayer hub that people really want. They are adding that in the title update, but it missed. It did not get added in at launch. And again, that's another like thing that us as lovers of the franchise were missing on day one. Everything else though, aside from some very, very, very small like performance issues on my end on the PlayStation 5. Usually on transitionary periods, like when I load into a camp for the first time each day, I get like odd hiccups. So like it will frame drop and then pick back up. But it's small and it's never gotten in the way in a hunt or during a larger gameplay related experience. It's literally just every time I load, I get like a weird hitch. I will say that I can't speak to it obviously because I don't have a PC and I'm not playing it on PC. But I do hear and recognize that there are a lot of people having optimization problems on that particular platform.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I'm still undecided if I'm gonna get it on PC or get it on my Xbox. You know.
yeah, and like honestly, that's a tough choice. I feel like just wherever you're gonna be more comfortable putting a lot of hours into it.
Mhm.
Is what it will come down to. Where do you want to sit the most? But
Mhm.
this game does have a lot going. Just really, really does have a lot going for it. It is the combat in this is the deepest that Monster Hunter has ever been. Every single weapon has a very unique and strong identity. Some weapons lost their identities horribly in Rise, and I consider Rise a very fun game.
I had a lot
But
of
like
fun with
the
that with
yeah,
Rise
but like
personally.
the insect glaive and Rise was dog shit compared to like every other fucking game
Mhm.
that it had been in before, and they completely revitalized its identity. They have really everything's got really great combos. All of the armor, as always, looks fucking incredible. The new monsters are great. I can't wait to see what they do in the future. As always, this game immediately breaths open once you roll credits on the campaign, and you're engaging in those post chapter stories, right? You get access to things like tempered monsters, frenzied monsters. Won't spoil what those are. I'll just drop the terms. And a plethora of side quests. So many side quests. Whether it's fishing, engaging in capturing endemic life, hunting specific monsters under specific conditions, and of course, always just hunting for that bigger, better set combination to be able to take those monsters down quicker and cleaner every single time.
Yeah, yeah. Shane is classy in chat said he's lost sleep for this game. He's like, what's sleep anymore?
Oh, I've lost sleep for this game, dude. It is a game worthy of losing sleep over. It is by far and away the most interesting, most engaging, most complete Monster Hunter game ever produced in the franchise's history. And I think 8.3 million copies sold in 4 fucking days says a lot.
I had a question
Yeah,
for you. After rolling credits, did you piss, shitted, and cummed?
I did. I pissed it and shitted and cummed the whole time. Dude, there is a cutscene at the end where you're getting ready to fight like the big bad of this particular campaign, and they give your hunter like the most he is him ass fucking line to like start this fight. And I was just like, oh fucking K, all right, they really took this story seriously in like their own way. Like, there's not a lot to take seriously about Monster Hunter. It's a little bit of a fucking goofy game at the end
Mhm.
of the day, but I take it seriously, and I think there is a lot of fans of the franchise that take it just as seriously as I do. And it was nice to see Capcom really double down on the lore, really like give us lore reasons to why we're there, why we're hunting the things we're hunting, why we don't hunt the things we don't hunt, and the implications of us as the guild organization coming to this basically fucking nature reserve called the Forbidden Lands. And engaging in all of this fucking awesome ecological discovery through this campaign. And of course, hunting massive, gigantic fucking monsties. Incredible designs, incredible fucking game. I cannot get enough of it. I cannot wait to play more. Without further ado, my rating for this one is out and out going to be a play it now. Like, I don't even need to give you the other ones because it's a play it now. Like, This is if you've never played a Monster Hunter game, this is the best time to try. It has more ease of access than even Monster Hunter World did, and that was a pretty get into it game as far as Monster Hunter was concerned. Rise not as much, but still really good and had more accessibility settings than previous titles. But this one is it. So many fucking different accessibility settings, so many different things that you can adjust for player conservation to make the gameplay work for you, that you can toggle, change the fucking combinations on your key bindings and shit. It is the best Monster Hunter game. It just is.
Is this your game of the
Play it
year?
now. It is. I will be hard pressed to find a game that makes me feel as happy as this game has made me feel.
Sweet. There it is. Play it now. That's for all you guys at home. Play Monster Hunter Wilds now. Do it. Do it. All right, we're going to move into our schedule for the rest of the week. So we only have one more episode that we're conducting this week because Friday, 20,000 Films is going to be coming back with a new episode. That's right. And this Friday, they're going to be reviewing Mickey 17, and that'll be a spoiler-free review. I'm actually very interested in that movie.
I'm excited to see this movie. I'm really excited to go see this one. I don't know why. Like, the concept just looked really interesting to me. I was like, this is just going to be an interesting movie.
Yeah, and you have the same director who not only did Parasite, but also did Oldboy. Like,
oh, yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot going on. Both really incredible films.
Very incredible films. Very respected films. And Oldboy is probably one of the most inspirational fight scenes of all movies.
Dude, that hallway scene goes hard as fuck.
And I can't wait to watch Daredevil because Daredevil pulls a lot of its action sequencing from Oldboy.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah. Guys, if you've played Monster Hunter Wilds, please let us know. You can go into our comment section here on YouTube when you're watching this, or you could go into our Discord and talk about it in there. We got plenty of folks who hang out in Discord and chat, play video games and all that kind of stuff. So definitely go check that out sometime.
And how?
Yeah. Guys, this has been Good Kraken's Death Ratio, your choice for all the nerdy video game news, reviews, and discussions that you want to hear live each and every Tuesday at 7 p.m. West Coast, Best Coast time. And that 7 p.m. is just kindish. 7 p.m. If you liked what you heard, you can head on over to our Discord channel where you can submit questions and topics to the show, get exclusive content, and have early access to episodes before they go live on podcast and video services wherever you like to watch or listen. But you can also support us by going to our YouTube channel, clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Death Ratio and leaving a review there. We have to go, but until next time, thank you, kindish.